Hi, this is Ray.
And hi, this is Karina.
And welcome to your daily dose of Harry Potter. Today is Tuesday, and we're starting the Chamber of Secrets, and we are pondering Potter. So, Karina, in these first three chapters of the Chamber of Secrets, we of course get the summary first chapter to kind of give us a review of what's happened, and then we hear about Dobby, and then we see Harry go to the Weasleys. And I want to ponder a little bit about Harry Potter and what we learn about him. And the one thing we can learn a little bit more about him is his interaction with Dobby, Dobby's an interesting character because he kind of reminds me as a teddy bear. Maybe an ugly teddy bear, but it's kind of a little creature who comes and sees Harry out of the blue, and Harry's never seen him. So a very intriguing little character that was created for this story. I don't really know what a house elf is, do you?
No, we don't really find out exactly what one is, but we do find out exactly that they're sort of like servants, and they mainly clean and I guess other stuff like that. I guess that's what we really know about them.
Yeah, and I guess they live a while and they have some of their own magical powers, but Dobby comes kind of in a strange way to warn Harry. And the interaction here is interesting when you can see how Harry Potter treats Dobby and how Dobby treats Harry Potter. Dobby treats Harry Potter in a very official, formal, reverent, respectful way and calls him Sir and a great wizard. And when Harry offers to do nice things for him, he gets kind of scared, yeah, and maybe a little bit ashamed. And he says something about nobody's ever treated me as like an equal. And he starts, really kind of making a lot of noise when he wasn't supposed to be making a lot of noise. Harry, it seems, when he sees this creature, maybe he thinks he's a little helpless, and he starts learning about him, feels sorry for him and wants to help him. And what we start learning about Harry is that we start seeing more of his sense of judging good and bad and what's fair and not fair. And so you get a sense right away that with Dobby, he thinks that Dobby's treated unfairly and cruelly. And as Dobby tells a little bit more about that a house elf is a servant, more or less like a slave, and can't be released and has to punish himself, you kind of get the sense that Harry is appalled by that. And he kind of says, gosh, that's worse than living with the Dursleys, because Harry feels a little bit, or a lot I should say, in prison. Because at this point he's locked in his room with bars on the wall, or I guess I don't know if it's quite bars yet.
And he's not allowed to come out of his room unless he has to go to the bathroom or something like that. And
here's Dobby who comes to see him, and he's feeling like his situation is not as bad as Dobby's. So you get this also sense that Harry is understanding himself, and that it could always be worse. But you clearly get a sense that Harry wants to make things right. And the question I have for the people reading along with us is, where did Harry get this sense of righteousness and injustice? I mean, it goes back to what we were talking about before, and about him being a hero. So you start to see this, and the development of that, as we think about Harry and who he is and what he stands for, you can see these elements all along. Another thing that we learned about Dobby is when Harry goes to the Weasleys and he tells Fred and George about Dobby, and of course Harry doesn't know that much about magic or anything,
or the magical world at all, since he lives with Muggles and everything.
And Fred and George are almost immediately question Dobby, and they say words that are very English and British that are interesting. Sounds fishy, Harry, a little bit dodgy. And Harry says, what, do you think he was lying to me? And they kind of just look at each other.
And then they think that it's Malfoy's house elf, and Malfoy was just trying to play a prank on Harry.
Right, and so they try to figure out who sent Dobby and why did Dobby send this warning. Was it a joke? Was it really a warning? And of course they connect it to one of his arch enemies, besides Voldemort, which is Draco Malfoy and Lucius. And we learn that Lucius, his father, Draco's father, they indicate that he worked for Voldemort. So again, we go ahead and set up this conflict that's going to start. A new character is introduced that sounds pretty nasty and will have to somehow be in Harry's future. So again, we start getting this weaving and connection. So that's it for this section, and we again start learning a little bit more about Harry. He has this character trait of wanting to do the right thing and setting things straight, and seems to want to fight evil. We also, in the last chapter of the 3 here, he starts learning more about magic, and he continues to be enthralled and have wonder about magic as he sees the Weasley's house and helps with the chores and sees Ron's room and thinks it's just marvelous. We look forward to your comments, email or videos as we're starting to get, and so please start keeping to send those in.
Bye-bye.
Bye.